Hey guys, so I do a walk around in my Jeep here. It's a 1946 CJ2A. I've had it for 15 years, since I was 15 years old. I built it in high school for my first car. Got it out of the woods for $200 and dragged it home, and I did all the body work on it and everything, and the lift. I didn't rebuild the engine until I was out of high school. It was like I don't know, 3 years after I got it. But those first 3 years I ran good and everything, but when we rebuilt it, all the rings, all the top two rings in every cylinder were broken in a lot of pieces, and all the cylinders were cracked too. But it still ran fine. It just got a little bit of antifreeze in the oil after a while, and the oil got milky. But that's how I ran it for 3 or 4 years until I rebuilt it. And not sure what year the block is, but the head is a GPW head, so it's all been messed with before. I think it was rebuilt in probably the 70s. I put an alternator on it recently because I put the winch on it and the generator couldn't keep up. It's pretty stock other than that, except for it's like a bored 60 over and the head's shaved down quite a bit. Yep. Got a remote oil filter on it here. I still have the stock air filter in the oil filter. I was thinking I was gonna might put the stock oil filter back on, but can't put the stock air filter back on because I cut a hole in the hood there for the hood scoop. But I like that anyway, so guess I'll just leave it. I built this winch I got it for $10 from a garage sale, the winch part, but the motor was fried, so I put the starter motor on it. It only goes in one way though, it's no power out, so it's kind of a pain. That's the solenoid for it. I think I could probably wire it up so it goes both ways, but I haven't looked into that at all, so. It's got the stock distributor and everything on it. I got Petronics in it. I used to have MSD on it, but I took it off. Those don't seem to do much anyway, those MSD boxes. And I did a spring over lift on it. Stock springs and everything. Welded on my new mounts there. Still kept the old ones on the axle just in case I ever want to change it back. And I put 11-inch brakes on the front instead of the old 9-inch ones. Still got the stock springs and shackles there and everything. And I did the Saginaw steering conversion with the crossover steering. It's the box is from a Nova, and the ratio is pretty slow, so I extended the pitman arm here so that quickens it a little bit. Got it where it's supposed to be. Haven't had any problems with that. The steering columns from a Jeep DJ. They look like the stock one, except they have a U-joint on the bottom instead of the steering box. So I got it routed up through the engine mount there up to the front. And that works fine. I got wagon wheels on it. Put a couple of spacers in there, about 1/4 inch each side, just to get it out to the end of the lug nuts and give me a little more steering clearance. But it's pretty good. Steers enough to get it done. The axles are stock, the gear ratio and everything. Let's see. It's got the wiper motor here and everything. I don't have overdrive on it or a PTO. I have a PTO, but I got nothing to power with it, so I don't have it on here. I didn't set the taillights there. Did that on both my Jeeps. I rebuilt all this all around the body and all the floor and everything. It's before I really was good at welding or bothered to weld anything, so it's mostly just riveted on. Patches. It's very patchy. But it gets the job done. And I got these seats from a Dodge van, probably 80s, low back vinyl bucket seats. I got those in both my Jeeps too. They're a little tall, but you can modify the mounts to get them as low as possible. I didn't notch the wheel well to get the seat farther back or anything. I just pushed it back as far as I could, and comfortable enough. So I cracked the windshield loading firewood in it, so if I put it back on the road I'm gonna have to replace that. And I have a full soft top for it with the doors and everything. They slide down in these channels of vinyl. Got the KC lights on it and the split windshield. And the back axle, I have a locker in it, a lock-rite locker. Works pretty good. I haven't ever driven it on the street. I haven't registered yet with that locker in it though, so I don't really know how it's gonna drive like that, but the Jeep, it's more like a tractor than a car anyway. I don't got the radio hooked up anymore. The antenna used to be back here and it got ripped off, so I filled in the hole, and so now it's got really crappy reception and stuff, but still got the speakers. And parking brake's always soaked in oil, so that doesn't work so good. And I replaced the amp meter with a hour meter there. So he's got good oil pressure, and the gas gauge works, and all the gauges work. And I got a Bantam trailer to go with it. This is a TC3. I think it's 1948 or so. I did the spring over and swapped the wheels on it too. It's easy to switch back though, so didn't hurt it none. Got the tailgate on it and one tail light. It's pretty stock. Still got the original floor and everything. I was in Toys R Us one day looking at the G.I. Joe Jeeps, and some old guy said I was talking to him, got talking to him about the Jeeps, and I said I got a 46, and he said, well, I got a trailer to go with it. So we went up to his house and got this for 400 bucks. So that was a good deal. Shouldn't be leaving it outside, but doesn't seem to be doing it much harm. I keep it up once in a while and make sure it's not getting any rustier than it was. I put like, I think these are 31s or 33s. Goes good with the Jeep, same height and everything. Could use a repaint, but it's holding up good. Still got the original stand there and everything, and coupler, and the hooks. Oh, I changed it back to spring under apparently. I used to have it a spring over and 35s on it, and looks like I switched it back. But you know what I changed on it? These shackles are a little bit taller than the stock ones, because they're from I think a Willys wagon, and the pickups have a little bit taller shackles there. So I used them because on my Jeep one of the shackles was broke in the front. So I bought some off a guy off a forum, and he sent me those ones, but they were a little taller. So I put them on here instead of the Jeep, and put one of them from here on the Jeep to keep them the same. And it worked out good. So gonna have to change those shackles back if I ever want to go back to the stock wheels and tires. I have the stock wheels and tires. They're 16s, and they got the trim rings and everything on them, and the tires are stock, and they're still good tread and everything, not dried out or anything. And that's that. So yeah, these days I mostly just use it for gathering firewood and stuff, but someday I'll get it back on the road and have some fun with it again. Alrighty. Oh yeah, these tires are 35-inch, 12.5 15s. Goodyear Wranglers. I got them back in the day when they were only like 500 bucks for all of them. They're good tires though. They're not even cracked yet, and they've had them 15 years. Alrighty, see you later.